The newest update to MasterDuel has released its newest selection pack, the Apical Predators. With it comes some new exciting cards to MasterDuel, as well as one of my favorite alt formats, NR. Today, I'll showcase all the brand new cards, their possible uses, and my genuine first reaction to them. My name is Doc Conrad, Yugioh, and if you like this kind of content, please be sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and let's get into it. Hi, I accidentally recorded this with my mic muted, so now let's go ahead and get things into this. Yummy Mitsurugi is going to be one of the strongest things in this overall format. I think that with the new Yummy cards that have just been announced and the bundle that has arrived, I think it's going to be a fantastic addition to this. I hope to see some things shift up in the metagame, but either way, let's get things started. We have a new selection pack, the Apical Predators, as well as the Yummy Collection Bundle, with one UR guaranteed. A new secret pack, Blazing Vitality, meant to be the Red Eyes and the Metalmorph archetypes in order to work within both, which I think is very interesting. We have some new accessories, the Eater of Millions, Punk Jam Fever Drive, Otoshidamashi, Miracle Raven, DDD Dimensional, King Arc Crisis sleeves for all you Zark fans out there, and Megalith Anastasis. So, with all that being said, there's also some new Legacy Pack stuff as well. We'll take a look at those as well. Making sure. Yep, the new Yummy pack includes new copies of, I believe, the current selection pack, the Apical Predators, with a guaranteed UR in 10, but you also get the Binder Collection, the new Yummy Snatchy Mate, which is very cute. Little goofball. You have a little base as well. You have the Yummy Coin. You've got one of the Yummy monsters. I believe this is the Synchro that revives too. Back Lolipo. You have a card case. You have sleeves that I guess change between the various types. There's Cookie. He's so cute. Look at the Cookie. Let's see if it'll change the other one. Or is it just going to cycle through just the first two? Okay. You have the Cupsy icon. And here they are in action. So we're going to go ahead and I'm probably going to buy that. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to front you. It's yummy. I mean, come on. It's cute. But after a series of grueling battles, these ones rise above all else. DDDD, Dimensional King Arc Crisis, arrives as the new ruler of the DD fiends that hail from a different dimension. The all-new Yummy also arrives, utilizing Link 1 monsters that charge into battle by unleashing unpredictable Synchro Summons. Other powerful cards, including Megalith, which has a variety of unique ritual summon strategies, and Sulfacore, which freely wields Pendulum Scale to its advantage, are also joining the battle. The beautiful yet powerful Link monster Gorgon of Zilphonia is also not to be missed. So, with that being said, Megalith is a strategy that is very powerful inside of NR format. It is one of the strongest archetypes overall, and having some bonuses for the new Megalith stuff will allow for all of us in the NR space to enjoy it, perhaps at a more competitive level. That being said, there were very few opportunities for those cards to come in at that rarity, but let's see if they're going to come in at NR or not. If you don't know how we like to do things around here, I know I can hit N, I know I can hit R, I know I can hit all these different rarities, I know I can hit newly added cards, but what I like to go ahead and do is talk about each and every single card at the current rarity, starting from the top. Let's go ahead and start from the top this time with Yummy Snatchy. This is a Link 1 that requires a level 4 or lower Light Beast, and if special, places a Yummy Field spell on the field, and allows you to once per chain during the main phase or your opponent's battle phase, pay 100 and Synchro Summon using it as material. That effect is not once per turn. The first effect is once per turn. This card being at 2 is going to be very important, considering that this would normally be a 3 of in the current strategy, and so I think it's going to be very difficult for you to go ahead and face against in any sort of way. But let's see what we can do here. Gorgon of Zilphonia is, of course, a Link 3 that allows for some form of Towers outing in general. You cannot summon / set to monster to a zone this card points to. This is to prevent V-linking, which would be very dangerous, I would think. Monsters the card points to cannot attack, and their activated effects are negated, and it gains attack equal to the total original attack of the monsters this card points to. And it cannot be destroyed by battle or monster effects while this card points to no monsters, meaning that it is a pseudo wall in the space where it ends up being, but also allows it so that way if it points to at least one or two things, it will go ahead and have some form of attack gain, and it's very difficult for your opponent to go out. It's very interesting to go IP into this monster because it negates the effect on, and their activated effects are negated, so it negates on resolution. Very strong card. DDDD, Dimensional King Arc Crisis is a pendulum monster for the Zark Fusion's DDD aspect of it. It's essentially the Zark version of DDD monsters, and I think it's interesting and fine, but you won't really see this card being played inside of the deck. Megalith Notra Pura is a ritual monster that requires a Megalith card. The ritual monsters for Megalith require ritual monsters to be utilized for their effects. You can reveal this card in your hand, and the turn you activate this, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to the activation of your Megalith ritual monster effects, which is very powerful. Don't forget that the only thing that really stops us at that point would be Nib, allowing for your effects to activate on quick effect, meaning that you can go ahead and at any point shut off a chain if need be, or start off your plays and just say, I'm going to go ahead and keep playing and go from there. Alongside the fact that there is Megalith Bathor, which is a pop multiple cards, you can Megalith Nothra Plura, and then have this effect be active the entire time, meaning your other Megalith monsters just cannot be disrupted. When your opponent activates a card or effect, you can negate that quick effect, you can negate the activation, and if you do destroy that card, then if that negated card or effect targeted a card on the field, you contribute one monster your opponent controls. So, you cannot use this as a card that would allow for ritual summonings, however, it is a big, beefy boss monster that negates, destroys, then, if it targets a card, you contribute a monster your opponent controls. Very strong. Miracle Raven is a very good ritual pendulum that allows for you to essentially use itself as a ritual material by placing itself in the pendulum scale to tribute a level 1 monster, and then if you ritual summon exactly one ritual monster with a card effect that requires the use of monsters, this card can be used the entire tribute, meaning that it can be utilized for some form of Mitsurugi setups. If tributed for ritual summon, you can add a ritual monster from deck to hand, meaning that in ritual piles, this card is very, very good. Cupsy Yummy, allowing to be a free special summon, and all of the different Yummies have this various effect except for Marshmallow. Wait, where is... Oh, there's Lolipo. All the various Yummies have the effect where if you control a Link 1 or a level 2 Synchro, you can special this card from your hand. You can only special summon them each once per turn this way. If normal or special, you could add a Yummy card from deck to hand except itself, or if it's special by the effect of a Synchro, you could draw one card instead. Cookie has a similar summoning condition, and if normal or special, it can target a face-up monster your opponent controls, it loses 1,000 attack, or if it's special by the effect of a Synchro, destroy that monster instead. Marshmallow is the unique one of the bunch. If you control no monsters, or all monsters you control are light beasts, you can special this card from your hand. If normal or special, add a Yummy spell trap from deck from your graveyard to your hand, or if it's special summoned by the effect of a Synchro, place a Yummy field spell or a Yummy continuous spell trap from your deck or banishment face up on your field instead. Typically, you want to go ahead and use this as a way to get back your Yummy quick play spell, which would be Yummy Surprise. This Yummy quick play spell lets you either have multiple of these effects if you have multiple copies of the card. Activate one of these effects, but you can only use each effect once per turn. Either target 2 light beasts and 2 cards your opponent controls, return them to the hand. So summon a Yummy from your hand or grave, but it can't attack directly this turn, or return a field spell from your face-up field or graveyard to the hand, then place a Yummy field spell from your hand face-up on your field. You typically want to use the first 2 effects, those are the most powerful ones. The third one, don't sleep on, but each of these, with the amount of cards you typically play of Yummy Surprise, typically is 1 to 2, typically 2 being the one that you would have as a general one to utilize both of them at the same time and have recursion with the copy of Marshmallow Yummy. Lolipo Yummy is a Link one that also has the same summoning condition effects as both Cupsy and Cookie, allowing to special summon if you control a Link 1 or a level 2 Synchro. And if normal special summon, target a card in your opponent's graveyard, shuffle in the deck, or if special by the effect of Synchro, you can banish that card instead, meaning that you could have an option to either banish a monster or shuffle them back into the deck, ending some form of graveyard recursion. I think this card is very slept on when it comes to disruption. Now we have the DDDs, more DDD count surveyors. Discard other DDD monster specialist in your hand. If normal special, add a DD with 0 attack or defense from deck to hand. If a pendulum scale is activated, target 3 cards the same type and attribute. 2 of those. This effect doesn't matter. It's either going to be a scale 1 or discard another DDD, special it, and if normal is specialed, add Kepler. That's all you need to know about that one. This card, DDD to 0 Doom Queen Machina X, allowing you to, if a face-up DD or Dark Contract you control is destroyed while face-up in the extra deck, even during the damage step, you could bring it out, then destroy a card on the field. Non-target destruction, by the way. If it's destroyed, place in the Pendulum Zone. So typically, if you would have gone ahead and go for it, you would either special this out or bring in the Pendulum Zone. And then, during your main phase, the cards activate this turn, you can place a Dark Contract continuous spell from your deck face-up on your field. So you typically would pen scale this, bring the Dark Contract effect. This is one that lets you pop or fuse using the card, I forget which. And then, if any card is destroyed while face-up in the extra deck, you could bring it out, then destroy a card on the field during the time in which it is in the face-up extra deck. Sulfur Chord Happiness, the Sulfur Chord card, is very strong alongside the other Sulfur monsters. Primoria, I believe, is one of them, and then another one is probably going to be further down below. Might be in the NR strategies. We'll go ahead and get back to the Sulfur Chords. Just know that this card is a custom 3 of. It is the same sort of deal that multiple copies of that Yummy Surprise has. Activate one of these effects. You use each effect once per turn. Discard a card, add 2 pen scales, then special summon a Sulfur Cord Pendulum up to the number of monsters your opponent controls +1, meaning that you could bring out a search 2 special minimum 1 plus another if they have any monster on field. So discard 1, add 2 special 2, or add 2 special up to 5, I guess, which is nuts. During your main phase, you conduct a Pendulum Summon of a Sulfur Cord in addition to your Pendulum Summon, or special summon 2 Sulfur Cord cards from your Pendulum Zones. Now, you can be able to place those cards pretty easily inside the pen scales, and then Sulfur Cord Happiness, just bring them out again, which is very nice. Megalith Anastasis is a UR Megalith card that lets you discard to add 2 Megalith monsters, 1 level 4 or lower, and 1 level 8 or higher. And then, if you Ritual Summon a Megalith, you can activate either one of these effects, only once each of the effects once per turn. Draw 2, discard 1, and then or tribute 1 monster your opponent controls. So you can either do once per turn, each of the effects of one Anastasis once per turn. So you just summon once, draw 2, discard once, you just summon again, tribute a monster your opponent controls if you so desire. Very strong there. DDD Sky King Zeus Ragnarok is a negate for any monster inside of the hand, as well by banishing a DD monster or a Dark Contract from your graveyard. And as a Link 3, you can also target a DD or a Dark Contract you control, destroy it during your main phase. You get an additional Pendulum Summon of DD monsters as well. Very powerful, especially with the Link 2 of DDD Abyss King Gilgamesh. This monster is not new, but essentially allows you to place the pen scales. And if any monsters, if this Link Summon card is stored by battle with an opponent's attacking monster or opponent's card effect while in the opponent's monster zone, bring out a DD from extra deck or graveyard in defense position. Wise King Solomon requires 2 level 4 DDs, and then you get detach material and a DD card from deck to hand. Simple enough. Being able to go ahead and utilize it alongside Griffin and another monster is very powerful. If banished, you can target a DD effect you control. Effect gains the effect to, if destroyed by battle, inflict damage to original attack. That card rarely comes up as a matter of fact, but it could be a nice bonus. The Starham is one of the best cards ever printed. I mean, look at this fucking cute-ass mug he's got. If Synchro Summon, discard a card, special summon a monster from your graveyard that was used as material for the Synchro Summon, and if you do, treat it as a tuner. If it's sent in your graveyard, you can discard 2 cards, special this card with banishing when it leaves the field. Fulok is an SR, unfortunately, so no new Megalith cards for the NR format players. Good. I don't think we need any more support for that archetype. Or to summon this card with a Megalith card, you can activate the following effects of Megalith Fulok in the same chain. If ritualed, add a Megalith card from your graveyard to hand. During the main phase, you can activate this effect, ritual summon a Megalith ritual from your graveyard, except itself by tributing monsters from your hand or field, including this card on the field, if their levels equal or exceed this level. Good recursion. Good card. We talked about Lalipo already. There's some Sulfur Cords, DDs. Primora is when you Pendulum Summon, target a Sulfur Cord card in your Pendulum Zone and return to the hand. And while you have the Sulfur Cord cards in both your Pendulum Scales, 1-on-1 even, the activated effects of Sulfur Cord cards cannot be negated. If normal or special, add a Sulfur Cord card from deck to hand. If you link summon a Sulfur Cord monster, add a Sulfur Cord card for your face-up extra deck to your graveyard to your hand. This is great recursion, this is great adding, this is a great card for Sulfur Cord just in general. Rating of Rites allows you to essentially add a Fiend Ritual from deck to hand. You would typically use the Ritual Raven, the Miracle Raven that you want to use. Then if you had a Pendulum monster, you could bring out a Sacrificial Offering token, being the full cost of the Ritual monster. While you control that token, you're locked from the extra deck. When your Ritual monster inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can manage to card to your graveyard, draw 1 card. So Rating of Rites is going to be a little bit difficult if you have the add, then if you added the Ritual Raven, bring us the Pendulum Scale, place the Pendulum Scale, tribute over the token, and then after you get that, you are able to now use it as the full ritual material for any ritual monster. Dark Contract with the Zero King is a busted DD card. It is always treated as a DD card, which most Dark Contracts are not treated as. You can target a DD card you control, except for itself, destroy it, and if you do, special summon a DD from your deck. Also, you're locked into the turn, except for DDs, and once per turn during your standby, take 1,000. This is one of the cards that allows you to trigger the copy of DDD Zero Doom Queen Machinex, because if any card is you control except for itself is destroyed, you can special summon this card to destroy a card in the field. And if you activate, you place it, you activate it, destroy it, place it in your pendulum scale. So, a lot of things you can go ahead and do in that regard. And finally, Yum Yum Yummies for the SR ranking. Yum Yum Yummies, each time 2 or more yummy monsters are special summoned to your field to gain 500 life points. Your opponent loses 500 life points. You can pay 500, target 2 face-up monsters in the field, including a Yummy Snatchy, send both to the graveyard, and if you do, special summon 1 Yummy Synchro for your extra deck that is treated as a Synchro. If you want to activate this card or effect, you can pay 100, and then immediately after it resolves, it links summon a Link monster. This card's not really utilized, but it can be placed off of the new Yummy Marshmallow that was utilized in the TCG as of late, and it looks like we have in NR a lot of cards. Wow, a lot of extra deck cards. First off, we have Sakura Vendrage, a new generic rank 4, which is always good for any number of rank 4 strategies. Detach a material from this card, target a one level/rank 4 psychic in your grave, special summon it. If a monster is special summoned while this card is in your monster zone, except for itself, you can target one of the faces on the field. That monster's name becomes Sakura Vendrage. This is meant to synergize alongside the unknown sort of strategies that have come from, I forget what that strategy is called. I think it's Heraldic Beast. This is essentially a generic version on the lower end, also a psychic that is meant to do that, sort of replace and give its name to other monsters. Very cool stuff. I love the artwork on this guy, by the way. Wood. Now we have Cupsy Yummy Way. These are the synchros that are going to be utilized. All of these monsters have a tuner and a non-tuner. However, for this card Synchro Summon, you can trigger a Link 1 you control as a level 1 tuner, meaning that this effect is for all of them. If this card is Synchro Summon, Cupsy Yummy Way, you can add 2 Yummy monsters deck to hand, then discard a card. If Cookie Yummy Way is Synchro Summon, you can target up to 2 face-up monsters on the field, change them to face-up defense position. And if Lollipop Yummy Way is Synchro Summon, you can special summon 2 Yummy monsters from your graveyard, but negate their effects. All these also have the effect when your opponent activates a card or effect, you can return this card to the extra deck, special summon up to 2 Yummy monsters from your graveyard, meaning that you have instant recursion, ability to pop out the synchros that come back, and your claw machine is reaching, grabbing them back out. It's putting itself back, and you typically bring out the Link 1 that you played in earlier, as well as 1 Yummy monster, because that Link 1 is now able to be used as a Synchro Summon material. Saiba, the Soldier Swordsmith. This card is a level 7 generic synchro. You can target 1 level 6 or lower warrior in your grave, special summon them against effects, and you cannot use as synchro material. This card cannot be used as synchro material this turn. And during your opponent's main phase, you can immediately activate this effect resolved, synchro summon 1 synchro monster using a monster you control material, including a warrior monster. Meaning that you can go ahead and bring back any number of synchro monsters you control and have further recursion for your monsters in general. The 7 is a great sort of level for any number of NR format strategies, and this is no different. This is a great generic toolbox for any warrior deck that wants to be utilized, and for Noble, watch your back. DDD First King Clovis is a Synchro 6. If Synchro summoned, target one of your banished DDs or a Dark Contract on the field. You can target it in your graveyard instead, special summon it. If this card is banished, if your DD monster attacks defense position, inflict piercing. This being great recursion for any number of DD monsters, because typically, by the time you would Synchro Summon this out, it would have a Dark Contract on the field. DDD Alfred the Divine Sage King is a rare monster. 2 DD monsters for the fusion material. During your main phase, you can fusion summon a DDD fusion monster from your extra deck by shuffling its materials from your hand, field, and or banishment into the deck. And if banished, you can target a DD. You can target Dark Contract continuous spell traps in your graveyard and or banishment up to the number of DDD monsters you control, place them face up on your field, meaning that you can bring back your DDD contracts that you've already gone through, and found ways to either put back that were in your graveyard or banishment. I think this is really, really nice. Allowing you to also fusion summon those monsters by shuffling its materials is cool as well. We have the various DDs. Replicard Lad is a very good level 7, 25/25. You can banish one of the level 7 or higher monster from your hand, such as this card from your hand. You can target one face-up monster you control, special summon one monster from your deck with a different name that is 2 or more of the same level, attack, and or defense, but it cannot activate the effects its turn. It was each effect of Replicard Lad once per turn. So, we need to find any 2500 level 7 to allow itself to target it and bring out a different one of its same level. In order to go into any generic rank 7 that you so choose. Replicard Lad would be a great addition for this, and I believe we can go ahead and take a look eventually at the Regenesis monsters that are available. DD Defense Soldier is a level 4 NR card with Fiend, 0 attack, 1800 defense. You can activate one of these effects from your turn, target DD in your Pendulum Stone, special summon it, banish a DD from your graveyard. If a DDD monster attacks this turn, your opponent can activate cards or effects until the end of the damage step. Banish a card from your grave, add a DD Pendulum from your extra face-up, extra deck, or graveyard to your hand. We also have Sulfur Solfegia. This is the other Sulfur card I was talking about earlier. Why they got like fucking nubbins for feet? It just like it freaks me out. I don't get it, dog. Like they all have like regular, they all look like regular portions of the rest of them. You know, that's like an actual person. Why you got fucking nubbins? It's freaking me out. If you control no monsters, all monsters control the Sulfur Cord, special from your hand during your main phase. You can activate this effect, special summon a Sulfur Cord from your hand, or if you tribute this card when you activate it, special summon from your extra deck or graveyard instead. In the Pen scale, when your opponent's monster effect activated on the field resolves, it can draw a Grand Sulfur Cord, negate that effect, then destroy this card. This is essentially a generic level 2 fairy that special summons itself for free if you need further extension. It's very nice. Allow me to tribute it to bring out a Sulfur Cord from hand, or tributed special summon from your hand or extra deck from your face of extra deck or graveyard instead, allowing you to have some synergy with any number of fairy cards, or if you so choose, I believe that it's also able to play as opportunities with the yummy monsters as well. Let's continue onward. Let's Go Together. If you have no Let's Go Together in your face-up, field, graveyard, or nor banishment, banish 7 cards from the top of your deck face down. Make your opponent attach 7 cards to their extra deck and or top of their deck face down, and they must declare how many are banished from each beforehand. Very interesting, I guess. Ashland U1000. This card is a house for any ritual archetype. 2 monsters with different type and attributes. If a ritual monster's card points to attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing battle damage to your opponent. You can reveal a ritual in your hand and a ritual monster with different type and attribute from deck to hand. And if you ritual summon, you can target one face-up card your opponent controls, return to the hand. This is going to be great for any number of archetypes or strategies that want to bring out any number of monsters. You can probably play this within Megalith as well, allowing you to go into the dark reptile of any number of monsters in the Mitsurugi archetype, perhaps even the dark reptile of King of the Fairlimps, and any number of other ritual monster that you can go into. Have a search and then reveal that search that you got off of King of the Fairlimps and add another one. Very strong. Dark Flare Swordsman is a level 6, 2200, 800 defense. You take no battle damage from battles involving this card. You can send a Flame Swordsman or one monster that mentions it from your extra deck to the grave and special summon this card from the hand, and you're locked into attacks except for warriors. And quick effect, you can tribute this card, special one monster that mentions Flame Swordsman from your deck except a level 6 monster. So this is a 6 extender for warriors, allowing you to play it within the, I believe it is the Metalmorph archetype as well. That could be good for that. And you contribute this special summon a monster that mentions Flame Swordsman for the deck, except for a level 6, meaning you can't bring out it, but you can bring out any number of the level 4. I believe there's also some other Dark Flare. There's also some other Flame Swordsman monsters that are lower than, they're either lower or higher than 6. I'd have to go and see. Leo Wizard, the Dark Fiend. This card's annoying. One of the few first frame break cards that had a secondary frame that allowed for you to go ahead and have the little tail that swishes up in there. Cute. For a player to normal summon a monster for its more than 1350 attack or defense and original level 4 or lower, they must tribute summon it by tributing a monster. At the start of the damage step, it's Battle's Light to destroy it, and if it's destroyed by battle or card effect, add a monster with 1350 attack from deck to hand, meaning you add another copy of itself. It is an annoying floodgate to play, making it so it is much harder to go ahead and have for any monster that is normal summon reliant. However, if you find any way to out it, I mean, it's like it's just kind of sitting there, right? Doesn't do much. DD Lance Soldier is a DD monster, level 2, that allows you to target. It's also a tuner, importantly. Target a DD monster you control, increases level up to the number of Dark Contract cards in your field and graveyard. And if this card is in your graveyard, you can target one Dark Contract you control, destroy it, and if you do, special summon this card but banish it when it leaves the field. We also have. Is that the last one? There's no way. There's got to be a couple more. Yeah, here they are. Yummy Amusement Mingyong and Yummy Amusement Akroki. Both of these are the field spells in which you would place off of the Yummy Link monster. Yummy monster you control gain 500 attack and defense for each light beast in the field. You can use each of the following effects of Mingyong once per turn. If you control a Link monster, target a level 1 Yummy in your grave, special summon it. If in the grave, target 2 Yummy monsters in your graveyard and or banishment, place this card and them on the bottom of the deck in any order. Yummy Amusement Akroki has that last effect where you're able to target 2 Yummy monsters in your graveyard banishment, place them in this card and them on the bottom of the deck in any order. However, this card has, if you synchro summon a light beast, target a card the opponent controls, destroy it. And if the face of a monster you control leaves the field by opponent's card effect, except during the damage step, you can special summon a Yummy monster from your deck, meaning that you can trigger those Yummy monsters to go for any norm of search, specials, or whatnot. I believe we're going to have one more Yummy Redemption. That's right, this continuous trap states, monsters your opponent controls, lose 200 attack for each light beast monster in your field and graveyard. And once per chain, if you synchro summon a light beast monster, you can draw a card and then place a card from your hand on the bottom of the deck. Base a card from your grave, target a Yummy you control, and one monster your opponent controls, switch control of those 2 monsters. Dark Contract with a different dimension is a continuous trap, and the final card in the pack. Once per turn during your standby phase, pay 1,000. Shuffle 2 Dark Contracts to your graveyard and the deck, target 1 card in your opponent's field or grave, banishment, banish it, and this card is destroyed, gain 500 life points, destroyed by opponent's card effect, gain another 500. Meaning that if the opponent breaks it, you gain a little bit of stuff. You get a little bit of life points back. It also has a disruption by having any card be banished from the opponent's field. I don't think it's going to see play, but with that being said, that is all of the cards inside of the new pack, but there is more. That's right, there is more new cards. We're going to go ahead and go to the Legacy pack in order to go ahead and see what those cards are. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a new, beautiful normal monster, Illusion, level 8, 25/25, meant to work with the Regenesis Primite archetype. An aberrant being that manifests in response to devout prayers. The lyrics it recites are said to foretell the future, but they are mysterious and incomprehensible to most. This is a mixture of the jackalope. Is that like a form of a... Yeah, it's like it has like jackalope vibes alongside the Mothman with the Millennium eyes and like some form of stag with a long tail. This is sick. I'm not gonna fuck with you. This is sick. I love Yu-Gi-Oh! Art, dog. I can't. Oh my god. Soliker Crystal is the other new card, and N rarity, level 6, 300 attack, 1900 defense, cannot be destroyed by card effects. If your opponent controls at least 2 or more monsters than you do, especially this card, you can target your opponent effect monster your opponent controls, negates effects. Hey, you know what that means? It's just. I think this is just a neat little way to just have a free body that comes out by itself as a level 6. So I think this is a neat card, just in general. But with that being said, what have been your favorite cards in this new pack? Do you think this pack is a stinker or an absolute W? Personally, in my opinion, I think this is one of the better packs we've ever had in the set. I think that the Yummy cards are going to make a big splash. I think the Megalith cards are cute. I think the Silvercord cards are cute. I think the DD cards are fine. But I think I'm really excited, especially for all the new NR format extra deck cards, including every single Yummy, Sakura Vendredge, the new Saiba, the Soldier Swordsmith, the DDD First King Clovis, the DDD Alfred, the Divine Sage King, and Ashlan U1000. It's rare that we get a number of extra deck monsters that we have available for us to play with, but with all that being said, if you like this kind of content, if you like my explanations of what all these cards are going to do in the near future, and my genuine first reaction to these videos, please be sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, do all that. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Take care, everybody. See ya!